probably quite a good example is probably if you're walking down the street and somebody's stabbing a dog. You know, you just walk past, okay, you didn't actually stab that dog, you didn't help, you know, you didn't do anything, so you're not in the wrong technically. But then you didn't try to help that dog, and you probably could have.
Hello beautiful beings, it's Rebecca the Vegan Pixie Warrior and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm talking to a new friend of mine called Peace With Rhys. I discovered Rhys a little while back. He commented on a few of my videos, so I checked out his channel. Anyone that comments on my videos I go and check out, see if they've got a channel and support them if it's something that I want to big up and support. He is a great activist. He's not been vegan long, he's not been active long, but he's getting stuck in with, like, he's putting both feet. Is that the right saying? So I'm hoping by the end of the video you'll be inspired to get active by Rhys, and don't forget to check out his YouTube channel and subscribe to that too. Enjoy the video. Hello Rhys, thanks for joining me today on my channel. How are you?
Nice to be here.
Good.
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. So we met recently. You've subbed to my channel and you were commenting, and then you joined me on my 500 subs live stream. We got talking, and since then you've kind of exploded on the YouTube scene.
I've done all right. You know, you've still got more than me, you know, but I feel like I'm doing all right, to be fair. My videos are. I'm being careful with my words here because I don't want to boast. I think I'm doing pretty well.
I think you're doing really, really well. I think your content. If you don't want to boast, I'll boast for you. And I think I think we need to be aware that we can boast and we can celebrate. That's what I like to call it, rather than boasting. Like, celebrate things that are happening. So I think that you should be celebrated. What you're doing is getting the word out there, and you're reaching a lot of people. And I think your content is powerful. I think it's honest. And yeah, I think it's brilliant. You're a great creator. I
appreciate that. Thank you.
So I'm going to ask you the same question I ask everybody that I speak to, and I don't actually know the answer to this. So when did you go vegan, and what was it that made you go vegan?
Well, it was a pathetically short time ago. It's at the beginning of 2020.
Okay.
I went vegan. I was vegetarian for 16 years, right? Well, okay, let me give you the full honest truth. I went pescatarian when I was 9 years old because I believe fish didn't feel pain. When I was about 11 or 12, I fancied this girl who was a full-on vegetarian. I asked her, do you eat fish? She said, no. I was like, oh, well, you know, got to give up the fish now. And then, yeah, I got into animal rights then in my teenage years, even though I was still vegetarian. And I believed I was doing it for the right reasons. I was vegetarian for the animals. I didn't really understand the problem with milk and eggs, apart from animals are being used. So I kind of always said, you know, vegans are doing the right thing. Morally, I'm vegan. I'm just like, my actions are not there. But I never really understood exactly why they were so horrific. And these days, you know, I think that dairy is worse than beef.
I agree. I think the dairy and egg industry are the worst with regards to the food industries, 100%.
Absolutely. So yeah, I continued being vegetarian then up until how old was I? I guess I was 24. And then I just started looking into veganism more. And what it was, I'd been like quite depressed, you know, since I was a teenager. And I dealt with that for, I would say, around 6-7 years. And then I finally got some help for that when I got medication and stuff. And once I did that, I started to be able to look at ways to improve my life in other ways. And one of the big things was living with this hypocrisy that I was consuming these products that I totally disagree with.
Yeah.
Just because I like the taste. So what really got me then, this is a really long answer to your question.
No, it's fine.
What really got me is a subreddit, so a group on the website Reddit called Vegan Circle Jerk, where it's just vegans making fun of themselves, really, but also making fun of people who eat meat and vegetarians. And some of the stuff they say about vegetarians is so brutal, but honest. It was calling, you know, vegetarians animal abusers, Um, and it was all sort of memes and stuff, but people just seemed to really hate vegetarians there, and they had good reasons. And I was like, you know what? Like, I can't argue with that. They're absolutely right. So actually, it was memes that made me vegan. And then how many months later? A good 10 months later, I think, I found myself watching Earthling Ed, Joey Carbstrong, Humane Hancock, some of these big names. And it was Joey Carbstrong I was watching the most, and his outreach. Because I was thought, I could never do outreach. There's just so much information. I'd fall over myself. And then I realized people use the same 20 arguments over and over again.
Yeah.
Like I know the answer to everything
Protein,
someone could say.
cows need to be milked. Yeah.
Yeah. I have an answer to like everything someone could ask me, I think. So I realized, I can do it. So I started doing it.
And it's the same arguments you get from friends and family before you're vegan anyway, right? Before you become active, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why they're so discouraging some people, actually. Like, even when you first go vegan, sometimes you're not really pushing it. You're not trying to make other people vegan because you're trying to work it out for yourself.
Okay.
Depends on the person, obviously. Yeah. But people, just the fact that you're vegan sets them off. They want to say something about it. They want to tell you why you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And now I realize that's probably them feeling like they have to justify why they're doing something that they themselves don't agree with.
Exactly. You kind of answered my next question as well. It's like, how long did it take you? How long did it take you to become active? So 8 months it took you to become active. And
I would say so.
Whereabouts are you based in the world at the moment?
So I'm in Bangkok. I just arrived here. I'm from the UK. I'm from Wales, near Dean Farm Sanctuary, actually.
Okay.
I just arrived here, so I haven't been able to get active here. But there's a lot of opportunity for things outside food. So we're talking sort of monkeys that are used to gather coconuts. We're talking about elephant riding. There's a gorilla here who's labeled sort of the loneliest gorilla in the world, called, try to get it right, Bwanai, okay. I think. So I'm going to see what I can do to see. Well, the main goal is really to liberate the gorilla and the other animals in this zoo.
Yeah.
But really, I want to bring attention. That's my main goal here at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. I can't wait for you to get back out there and see some animal rights videos in Thailand. It'd be really good to see that part of the world. And so you were based in Newport before, in Wales. Did you what was the first form of activism that you got involved in when you became active?
Well, the EU passed Amendment 171. I don't know if you're aware of that one.
Yeah.
It's they had a vote on Amendment 165 and 171. 165 was to remove the words burger and sausage, schnitzel, and things like that from non-animal products. And then 171 was to remove the words milk. I think they already got rid of milk and cheese. But things like dairy alternative, they wanted to ban, or milk alternative. They didn't like that. They wanted to ban that. 165 didn't pass, but 171 did. And I thought that was, can I swear?
Yeah, carry on.
I thought that was absolute bollocks. So I decided, why not? I can do something about this. So I posted on Reddit to ask people, what are our options here? What can we do? And then got into a few conversations, got chatting with a couple of people, and the three of us set up a campaign to overturn it. So we've got a change.org petition. We've written letters to every member of European Parliament to overturn it. Nothing's happened yet. But so anyway, for part of that campaign, I made a video. And, I've made a lot of videos in the past. I've got a couple of old YouTube channels that I don't use anymore. So that's sort of my skill set there. So I thought I'd use it. So I made that video. And I was like, you know what, this is activism. I feel good doing it. I'm doing something good for the animals right now. I don't want to stop. So I set myself a realistic schedule of once a week. And, I've kept that going. That was early November. So not that long.
Yeah.
But...
And did you have any blocks, anything stopping you, apart from, you know, what you mentioned earlier, that you thought you wouldn't have all the answers and things like that? Did you have any other blocks stopping you from becoming active?
Um, just a physical one for me. Because of the lockdowns, I was separated from my video camera.
Yeah.
I was like, how the hell am I going to make videos without a video camera? So now, if you look, like my first few videos, I don't even show my face. Um, I've got a microphone, I've got editing equipment, I've got videos online, stock footage, and I was able to make videos like that, you know, and maybe just a little bit on a phone if I
Yeah.
really need to. Um, so yeah, once I got started, it was so easy because the motivation was there. It's hard to start a project, but once you start it, there's no stopping you.
Yeah.
I was making some horrible content. Like I think let's talk about pork, which shows from birth to slaughter of a pig and everything they go through in their entire lives. Absolutely horrible to edit, as you might imagine. I saw a lot of stuff that, in a way, I wish I never had to see. But even though I was putting myself through this every day, the reason I was doing it was so important to me that the motivation was there, and I kept putting myself through it and watching all this content and editing it.
No, I'm really grateful for activists like you that do put in those hours to put that footage together and edit it, because I struggle watching it when I'm doing street activism. Like the amount of times I
Yeah,
burst into tears while I'm talking to people on the streets, I find it really hard. Especially at first, you know, you get to a point when you're doing street activism that you do kind of switch off. You can
yeah,
disconnect yourself, and then you go home and then you kind of process everything that you've done that day. So I am forever grateful. I mean, I found out recently that after interviewing vegan gays, that part of the footage in Land of Hope and Glory was filmed by her.
yeah,
So
yeah. I watched this interview.
absolutely
Very cool.
incredible. Yeah, very cool. I was like, why aren't you screaming and shouting about that? That's an
Yeah,
amazing thing that you've done there. Like I always ask people that the clip that made them go vegan, or the meme, the person that created that meme that made you go vegan, what would you say to that person? Would you say that they were, you know, damn you, you pushed your views on me? Or would you say thank you for making that, because that's what tipped me over the edge?
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. And I had the pleasure of speaking to Marissa, who made Vegucated, which is the film that made me go vegan, and I was able to thank her for that, and that's awesome.
How did
So
that
did you?
feel?
Oh, it was surreal, and I still can't believe it's happened. And I never, in my wildest dreams, would have thought that I would have got to speak to that amazing woman and thank her for the work that she's done, and for making that film and causing me to go vegan, and because of that ripple effect, like I became an activist and I started a YouTube channel. I meet
Yeah,
you, and I'm talking to you and all these other amazing people that are now in my life because of that one woman. So yeah, it's incredible. So did
absolutely.
you attend any events, or did you just do your own sort of thing, any vegan events, or just
I've just been doing my own thing.
do your own thing?
uh, well, it's a very weird time at the moment, obviously.
Yeah,
So there's not much going on. I did have a look when I first started. Is there AV in my area? Are there saves going on? And there are, but I can't drive.
yeah,
And
no,
I can't carpool in this at the moment. So
yeah,
it's difficult.
it's
I'm always on the lookout for something to join in the area, and I think there might be a little bit where I am now. Something standing in my way now, actually, going back to one of your questions, is legality, and am I looking at being deported, depending on what I do, because it's not as free as it is in the UK.
no.
Yeah, so always looking for some sort of group to join, some sort of cube or something. I just haven't had the opportunity yet, but I'd love to.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing you have been doing, which I haven't got the guts up to do, and I don't know why I've got a block about it, because I've spoken to people on the streets, but you've been doing some activism in lockdown where you've been outreaching to people. Do you want to tell people a bit about that?
Okay, so we're referring to my dog meat videos on the street.
No, well, your dog meat video is a good one, and that's one of the first videos I watched of yours, actually. No, I didn't watch the animal cruelty ones because I feel like I don't need to see that. No,
Yeah.
the other videos that you've been doing, You've done recently one with a hunter.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I found a way to be active while being safe. Um, if you want to do outreach, is to use Omegle or Chat Roulette. So I've been using Chat Roulette, just recording the screen, and just when we get started, I don't immediately tell them that it's a vegan agenda. Um, I just tell them I'm asking people some questions for a YouTube video, and then I'll tell them at the end. So you get that permission first, which it's important. Um, and most people are happy to talk to you. I found nobody. You look at the comments under YouTube videos and things like that, and you think like people are going to be horrible. When you actually talk to someone face to face, like they don't have the guts to be horrible.
No, they're not
there's no
hiding behind a
anonymity.
keyboard. Yeah, they're not hiding behind a keyboard
Absolutely.
anymore. So yeah, but I've
So
really
I just
enjoyed
get genuine
those.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I worried about how to present them, which was the biggest thing. Because I thought if I just, share the screen, is that going to be interesting to watch for, I don't know, some of these conversations go on for like 45 minutes, although I do edit them down. So that was my biggest hurdle there. But, I just played with the editing a lot. I've got a camera going on the side, so I've got shots to cut between, so just playing around. And I am fortunate, my first degree is in film. So I have got some sort of skill set there.
I'm going to have to call on you for some tips, because that's one thing I need
Yeah,
to
why
work on
not?
is my editing needs working on. I'm getting there, but there are bits that I don't have any idea. So what would you say for you, because you've only been active for a short while, but you're already making a massive impact, and like, thank you for doing that. I am grateful to every vegan that's active out there. But in the short time that you've been doing it, what would you say is your favorite form of activism? What suits you best?
I think it's education sort of videos. So I'll find a topic that I think hasn't been explored in depth a lot. I haven't got many videos, so but those are the ones I've enjoyed the most. Like I did one on vegan parenting just recently. It might be my most recent video actually, and that was really interesting because I had to look into it myself. I had some opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was probably fine. But I looked into the nutrition side of things. I looked into, is this socially isolating? I looked into, are we taking away the kid's choice? I never thought we were taking away the kid's choice, but I looked into it and I took my vegan brain away. I disconnected and I looked at it objectively. So exploring all that, as well as I've got a protein video. I know nothing about nutrition, so I had to look into everything. I don't do this for my health, but some people get started that way, so it is important. I learned so much, and because I made these videos and I went through so much editing and filming, so these facts went right in my brain again and again and again. When I do outreach, I can reel off this stuff. I can even source some of it.
Yeah.
So that was it. Like, expanding my knowledge so that when I talk to people, I know what I'm talking about. I can talk with conviction now.
Yeah.
On some of it anyway.
Yeah, I think that's important, is to like know what you're talking about. And I remember I did my first cube and I decided between my first cube and my next one I was going to watch Land of Hope and Glory again, because I'd already watched it, because I wanted to have all the numbers and all the facts. And a lot of the time you don't need all that information. One of the great things I love about the Cube of Truth is that they say we use Socrates effect. So so Socrates said that people believe what they say, not what they're told. So you get them to say it, you ask them questions. So I'll explain to them what's happening to a dairy cow and the whole process that mother goes through. And then I say, what would you call that if we did that to a human? And they say rape. So I don't put the word, I don't say it. They're the ones that say it. And then that makes them have a connection with that animal, that being, I think, much more. So what would you say, in the short time of becoming an animal rights activist, what does it mean to you to be an animal rights activist?
Good question. To no longer be in the neutral position. I find veganism to be a neutral position. If I abstained in any other situation where something bad was happening, something wrong was happening, that wouldn't make me a good person. So an example would be, probably quite a good example is probably if you're walking down the street and somebody's stabbing a dog. You know, you just walk past, okay, you didn't actually stab that dog, you didn't help, you know, you didn't do anything. So you're not in the wrong technically. But then you didn't try to help that dog, and you probably could have. You know, so it's taken you from a neutral position to just doing something actually positive. And now I like to think anyway, at least in a small way, I am making positive change in the world. And my motivation here is to leave the world in a better place than I found it.
Yeah, that's a great answer as well. That's a really good answer. And what would you say to what would you say to vegans out there that are in the neutral position still and aren't active? What would you say to inspire them and put a rocket up their bum?
Very good question. I think what all of us want is for animals to be liberated. And you don't have to be going out into the streets and yelling at people. You don't have to be standing outside of a butcher covered in red blood paint. You don't have to, you don't even have to talk to anyone. You don't even have to show your face. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, because there are so many different ways that you can advocate. Some people make plant-based cakes to show people that you can have nice cake without milk or eggs. Some people, they'll go to the gym and they get really buff and they just wear a t-shirt that says vegan. And that shows people, okay, yeah, I can be healthy as a vegan. That is activism in itself. Snide comments on the internet is a favorite of mine. That's activism. You don't have to do what I'm doing or what Rebecca's doing. You do whatever your skill set is and whatever you're comfortable with. There's so many ways, and you will find a way that fits into your lifestyle and your preferences.
Brilliant. Another great answer. Thank you so much, Rhys. I'm really hoping that people be inspired to get active from watching you today, because like you said, you've only been active a few months, which is fantastic. I think it took me a year, but I know other people that it took them 6 years, and some people that overnight went active. And it is hopefully, people that are watching this, they might have been vegan for a while, and this will tip them over the edge and they'll be inspired by you to get active. And I will drop a link below to Rhys's channel and his Facebook page. And if people want to reach out to you that are in Thailand to get active, would they be able to contact you?
Absolutely, you can. If you go onto my YouTube channel in the About section, you'll find my email address. Always welcome to email me.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Rhys.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Rhys is lovely, really honest. I completely support what he's doing. His YouTube channel is fantastic, as I said earlier. So don't forget to subscribe to him. I'll pop a link below. There's also a link to his email address as well in the description if you want to reach out to him and get some inspiration of how to get active, especially in lockdown. Thank you to my Patreons who support me on my Patreon page. And if you want to support me in doing more activism and making more YouTube content to inspire other vegans to become active, then check out my Patreon page below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video, and I'll see you next time.